Are there industries and areas right now that you think people are not talking about in terms of the way that AI is shaking them up, that you think there should be more focus on, or you see potential, founders like going into that space to shake things up?
Well, I think um, my shorthand for where I think the most interesting opportunities at the application layer are is like high value information work that is software poor. So basically, people who are primarily doing knowledge work but are using generic tools like Microsoft Word or Excel or the like, as opposed to something more specialized. I think this is not a unique insight. I think like half of the VCs in the world have pored over the Bureau of Labor Statistics to look at all the job types and try to figure out, lawyers, accountants, what else. I think the thing, I met a company earlier this week that was kind of a co-pilot for a niche, like a job function I hadn't thought about. And I think that there is a bunch of there are a bunch of jobs out there that I think are non-obvious that are basically come down to exercising some mix of like exercising your brain or exercising your creativity. And I think there is the ability for products to supercharge that. And I think we will find those over the coming few years. I also think there's a lot. Consumer is really hard, but I think there's clearly going to be some interesting consumer products built from this stuff. And that is much more of like a trial and error process. But I feel confident that at least a couple of very interesting things will come out on the consumer front over the next couple of years.
I would probably add that AI is a force for like skill democratization, and I think it's more fruitful to look at AI from a technology perspective up or a skills perspective as like one abstraction up than like trying to do top-down market analyses in sort of a more traditional venture sense. In that, like if I take examples of certain things from our portfolio, a lot of them are attacking things that were not software markets before. Companies like Sierra or Decagon, they're not going after Zendesk in particular or like ticketing systems for support. They're actually enabling companies to offer better customer experiences with automation and lower cost. If you look at companies like HeyGen in our portfolio, like one way you could look at that company is replacing the work of like SMB video production for recording like a talking head video as one beginning use case, right? And I don't think VCs would have said like, let's go after that super fragmented services market. But I think if you ask like, do people want to communicate more in video more cheaply, like 1,000 times more cheaply and with more convenience? Like the answer is yes, right? And so I think one of the most fun things right now is I think like flipping upside down the way you look at markets is fruitful now.